Hi, it's Trisha Morris here at Club Scrap. I'm doing a really spontaneous live event because I'm really trying to get my cameras to work and understand how MRMPT streaming works, and I've been doing multiple tests here. And I did try to do a double live, like go live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. I think I have the problem figured out for tomorrow because my goal is to actually go live at both places. That might be a little bit complicated, but it could be kind of cool. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. So yeah, I am in need of some anniversary cards, and I have an old formula here. This goes back to 2020 for a zigzag card. It's kind of fun, and it uses 4 sheets of paper. And I just decided to maybe make this with you, and so you can see kind of what my method is like if this is kind of new to you, and I get to play with my cameras and we get to hang out a little bit. I'm going to see if anyone's hanging around. We got 8 people watching, so that's kind of cool. And I've got my different camera angles, so let me just test these and show you how it works, because I don't have to take my phone anymore and turn it in any direction. And by the way, can you hear me? If you're around and you can tell me if you're hearing me, that would be awesome. I think there's like a minute delay on everything. Also, let me know if I'm frozen, because sometimes it tells me I have slow internet, even though I have the fastest internet in Wisconsin. So here is, you can look at this is my little iPad here that isn't like my studio, so I can see the different camera angles here, and then I can do a little bit of a close-up. So I'm gonna go out on this wider shot here and try to watch some comments. Oh, you can hear me. Awesome, Connie. Thank you very much, Connie from East Tennessee, for checking in. So as I mentioned, I wanted to make some cards, and I'm just low on some anniversary cards, so I decided to grab an old formula. And I grabbed papers from our Inspired collection. I grabbed an extra sheet of white because I think I'm going to cut some card panels after I get these cards, trimmed and ready to go. So 4 sheets of paper will give me, I think it's 4 cards here, and I'm going to cut 2 sheets at a time. And I have to check the grain direction on these papers. So first of all, my instructions tell me that the grain needs to be dipping easily from top to bottom on this paper. So I just hold it by its edge here, and I'm going to see if it dips, and lo and behold, it does. Okay, and then I'm going to take this other sheet of really beautiful, isn't that a gorgeous turquoise? I love it. And then make sure that that dips easily from top to bottom. And it's funny, if I'm going against the grain, listen. But if I'm going with the grain, it's almost silent. So if you're ever having a hard time, maybe try listening. All right, here we go. I'm going to follow these instructions with you and see how this goes. My first cut's at 11.5. Stabilize. And then 8.25. 4.25. Then I'm going to rotate this piece that's in my trimmer and cut at 11.75 and 11. Okay, so this is going to make some of my card bases here, and I don't know what this is going to be for. I haven't made this formula in so long. I'm really punting here. So I'll just make a pile for all the pieces. And then I'm going to grab the next pair of strips that fell. And oh, hi Janet, it's good to see you here. I'm glad to hang out. Let's see, step 2, cut at, step 3, trim at 6 3/4 and 4.25. And then I think I need to rotate this and cut at 3. So I've kind of been trying to change my formulas a little bit so that these rotations happen and it makes sense. And this other piece that fell, I need to cut at 3 also. We'll see. Like I said, I'm totally have no idea how this is going to turn out. So just roll with me, okay? And then I'm going to trim this remaining strip at 10. I think this is going to be a scrap. And then we have this other long piece that is also a scrap, and I have all kinds of fun piles all laid out here. I think you can see those piles. I really like this whole camera situation. I hope you can see me well. You can hear me, you can see me. Yay. Okay, so it's so cool. I have my iPad to my right, and that has my camera angles. Can you tell I'm a little excited? And then I have my laptop to my left, and that's where I can see your comments. So if you want to say hello, because we're just hanging out here. This is real casual. All right, this I think I may need, oh yeah, good. The grain is not going how I want it to go, but I wonder if I should switch this out. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to take a walk over to my cabinet here and see if I can find, I think I'm going to go with a plain color. Let's see, I'm shopping for a different color. Yeah, I'm going to go with this, the lighter teal from that kit, because I would have to cut the teal in the wrong direction to accommodate the grain, and I don't want to do that. So I'll remove that and grab this. Okay, so now I'm going to do all that one more time. So I need my grain dip in this way, and the same for the green. Now, if you're ever making cards and you want to make sure that they're going to look nice, one way to do that is to just grab papers from one Club Scrap collection, or look back at our color chips from past kits and use that as an inspiration reference for color schematics. Janet. Okay, I'm going to trim this at, let's see, 11 and a half, 8 and a quarter. So this is a repeat, and 4 and a quarter. All right, that's going to give me a card base. Then 11 and 3/4. This is some really heavy paper. And 11. All right, so now I have some things I can match up with my piles. I think I have various scraps going on here, but okay. Then this next strip gets cut at 6 3/4. Is that right? Yeah, 6 3/4. 4 1/4. Then I'm going to rotate and cut at 3. I don't think this is a scrap. And then I'm going to match that up here. This one needs to be trimmed at 3. This is definitely a scrap, so I'm just going to get rid of that. Match those up, match that up. And let's see, this piece we trim at 10. So if it's a piece on my diagram has an X on it, that typically means it's originally thought to be a scrap. So there we go. I think that's all the trimming we need for now, because I might go back and make some cards. Hi, Angela. It's good to see you here. Hello, Marie. Oh, this is so fun. You know, I'm not nervous because, you know, granted, my YouTube live isn't happening, but this one is, so I'm getting an error message from YouTube. Fine, be that way. Now we have to do some scoring. So let's see. It says score each 4 1/4 by 11 horizontally at 5 1/2. Basically puts it in half. Then I'm going to flip and score at 8 1/4. And I'm going to repeat that for all the pieces. Why would I do that flip? Well, it's because it's going to direct the direction of our folds. So 5 1/2, flip bottom to top, 8 1/4. That's half of 5 1/2. All right, 5 1/2, flip, 8 1/4, and 5 1/2. Oh, this paper's so pretty. Flip, 8 1/4. All right, then I'm going to do the same thing for these other ones. Let's see, what are my measurements here? Score each at 4 1/2, flip, and score at 7 1/4. Okay, 4 1/2, flip, 7 1/4. 4 1/2, flip, 7 1/4, 4 1/2. Hi, Annette and Beth, 7 1/4. It's good to see you here. Oh my gosh, all kinds of people. Heidi's joining us from Illinois. I love it. Okay, I think that's all the scoring. And again, this is so spontaneous. The only thing I did was grab papers and a formula because I am in need of anniversary cards, and I thought, well, maybe I can test my cameras, my mic, my everything, you know, knowing what I'm doing. So now I'm going to go to my third camera to get a little closer. How do you like them apples? Okay, now our score lines here, I'm going to fold I might have scored this inside out. Let's see. I might have scored this just incorrectly in general. Maybe not. Looks like it might be inside out. No, it's not. Oh, good. Okay. Phew. That means my other one's probably inside out. So the raised part of the score line, for those of you new to my antics, that's where the inside of the fold goes. And a lot of people do it backwards. And I teach classes, live classes every year in Michigan. And I always ask my classroom what they believe is the right way to fold a score line, fold on a score line. And year by year, the class gets better and better at knowing the right answer. But still, a lot of people believe that the bump of the score goes on the outside of the fold, but that is not true. This one, I think, is going to be inside out, though. Yeah, that's the wrong way. So I'm just going to pretend that never happened. And now my texture, this really beautiful green paper has the texture on one side and it's smoother on the other. But the rest of these papers do not have texture. There's even a way, I think, for me to do picture in picture. I haven't figured that out yet. So like I can see you or I guess you can see me at the same time. Okay, well, now I have a real mess on my hands, don't I? Okay, who else is here? Mary Beth Green, right outside the Windy City. Christy Thornett from Delaware. Oh, that's a name I recognize. I have perhaps packed a few orders with your name on them. In fact, I think Beth is still really busy in the warehouse getting ready for our big shipping day, pulling with kit orders and stuff. Okay, so what I typically do here is lay out all 4 of my main card bases, and I think I'm going to maybe add these next. I believe that this goes like this here. That's cool. And then whatever that color is will be the color I grab next. So that was aqua, so I'll grab my aqua zigzag and shove it here. And then my green one will go next. Oh, let's see, what else is happening? I believe that these colored pieces now are going to nest on top. Oh, yes, they do. Okay, so this was green here. I'm going to put the green here. And the zigzag was blue, so I'll put blue here. That was aqua, so I'll put the aqua there. Oh, it's so pretty. And then that's dark green. I'll put the dark green here. Okay, what else? What else can we do? We've got these large panels. I'm guessing those go on the inside card base. So let's start. Let's see, we ended with that pretty aqua here. So I'm going to bring that and put it on the back wall of that card. We ended with the dark green, so I'll put dark green here. We ended with the lighter green, so I'll put that panel, tuck that in there, and of course that's all I have left. Now I did have, oh, I know, we have this guy. These are, I think, gonna fit, and I'm gonna maybe match them. So have I used all the colors? 1, 2, 3, 4, yes. So I'm going to match this color and this color will be the same. So light green here. Are you following? I hope you're following. This is so fun. I love it when a project comes together. Oh, cool. And then I have these, I wonder why I trimmed those narrower pieces. I think maybe these nest. Oh, yes, that's right. They nest. But you know what? I'm not in the mood. Not in the mood for these little strips here. I've got an audience. Hi, Lisa. I'm glad that you just stumbled upon this live. In fact, I just stumbled upon this live. I was playing around with my new cameras and I just thought maybe I would try to go live in 2 places at once. Well, that didn't really pan out. So, okay, now I think I need to do a little bit of math. I'm going to grab some paper here. Let's see. Do I have any paper? I have some Pop Sandy. I'll grab from that. And let's do some calculations, shall we? Okay, so I'm going to measure a panel for this. So this is currently 3 by 4 1/4. I'm going to write that down. 3, I'm going to go to my wide camera. Oh, wasn't that cute? 3 by 4 1/4. And I need times 4. And then this other little panel inside here, I want to make a panel for this. So this currently measures 2.5 by 3. 2.5 by 3, and I need 4 of those. So what I'm going to do is subtract 1/4 of an inch from each of these pieces. So 2 3/4 by 4. I need 4 of those, and then 2.25 by 2 3/4 for the inside. I need 4 of those cut. Now, what is the most efficient way to cut that? Where's my graph paper book? I think it's in my backpack. So my microphone is attached to me, and that's kind of nice because then I can just walk around and look for things, and you can still hear me. I'm learning all kinds of new things tonight. Okay, so now I have my graph paper, and let's just do some math together to figure out the best way to cut our paper. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. We're going to figure out the best way to trim our paper so that we can get white panels for every layer of my card. Hi, Jenny Grieber. I think I've packed a few orders for you too. Yes, Janet, evening workshops with wine or candy would be fun. And yes, Jenny, pops are awesome. Okay, this is great. You know, nothing's keeping you from grabbing a beverage. That's all I'm saying. I'm just at the office and I don't have anything available here. Okay, so usually when I see the number 4, you know, that's a nice easy one. And let's see, 2 3/4 by 4. I'm going to go 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be giving me my 4 inches. And 2 3/4 is nice and easy. I can get 4 and it leaves me an inch waste. So 1, 2, 2 3/4, 1, 2, 2 3/4, 1, 2, 2 3/4. So that's going to give me, I wonder if I can zoom in. I don't think I can. Like there's a way I can, but I haven't figured that out yet. Anyway, I will just talk you through it. So I'm going to have this one column. Let me go closer. I can zoom in a little bit, but maybe it's too bright to see. Can you see that? Or is it too bright? I think I have to adjust the brightness. Anyway, so that's this one. And then I need another one, 2 1/4. So 1, 2 1/4. This is going to be 2 1/4. So, and then this, it'll be the same height, 2 3/4 way across. And this is 4. So that means out of one sheet of paper, I'm going to trim it at 6 1/4, 4. Let's just do it. Okay, so grab the trimmer. And I have a sheet of white ready to go here. So 6 1/4 is my first cut. And then 4. That I'm going to rotate. And then this is like a measurement I do all the time to make 2 3/4 inch pieces. Oh, Kathy, you're making your Starry Night cards? I love to see that. Okay, we're going to trim at 11, 8 1/4, 5 1/2, and 2 3/4. Sweet. So that gives me my 4 panels and a scrap. Then I had this narrow strip and I cut the same thing. 11, 8 1/4, 5 1/2, 2 3/4. And you know, honestly, this is kind of how I make the designs for the monthly card kits. I map it all out carefully and then I trim. So for example, I can show you, tomorrow I'm going to be releasing our Toile card kit. This is my notebook of all my planning. Let's see, Toile card kit. So when I planned that out, I just drew my boxes. I figured out what kind of cards I wanted. Like I did a slimline and I did this double Z fold card. And I literally drew all this out before I cut a single sheet of paper. So here I'm kind of shooting from the hip as well. And, you know, just hoping it turns out while you're here watching me either succeed or fail. And the nice part is if I fail, like I can just start over and try again. And I am very blessed to have a warehouse full of paper, but honestly, most of you do too. Okay, anyone else checking in with me so far? I had 18 people hanging out with me, watching me spontaneously make some cards. Okay, so now I've got the framework of each card, and now I need to get a little sentiments going on. I'm going to grab my desk blotter here so my table is protected. I've gotten ink on my wood table here. This is a real butcher block table, and have to sand it off. I don't want to keep doing that. All right, so here is my little positioning tool that I procured. And sometimes, let's see, maybe I won't stamp off the edge here. Let's just see. I wanted to make anniversary cards, and I found this sentiment on the Architectural Elements sheet. It has, may your walls know joy, may every room hold laughter, and every window open great possibilities. And I thought that might be a nice sentiment for the outside of my anniversary card. So I think I'll just put it here in this lower right corner, like so. And I got my little magnets. Probably don't need 3 of them. And I usually find like the first time I stamp a sentiment, sometimes I have to go at it twice, which is kind of why I always use a stamp positioning tool. And it has a grid on it, so I can make sure that I'm level here. Okay, let me find some ink. I'm just gonna use black, you know? I just like to have a nice crisp sentiment in black ink. Hi, Laura. So happy to have you join us. I love that I can see the comments rolling in here. Obviously, I don't have anybody assisting me. Okay, let's see how that, oh, you know, maybe it's just tiny little bit faded here down on the bottom. Is it straight? Oh, that looks so good. Yes, I think that's fine. I wonder if I should, maybe I'll do these first, and then I can just, now it's kind of like a printing press, right? I know I've got a good impression here, so it should be one and done for all of these and happen kind of quickly. And one magnet trick. There we go. Printing press is on now. Yay. And then one more. Yeah, I can hear Beth in the warehouse. I can hear the tape runner working. Okay. There we go. The start of 4 anniversary cards. And let's find a sentiment now for the inside. I'll put this one back in my little DVD case here. This is just a really inexpensive positioning tool. I found it on Amazon. It's made by Papus, P-A-P-U-S, I think. And if that's not available, you can, I think I have some Amazon links out there. I'm not certain about that. Oh, okay. So then I'm going to do, that's my wish for you for the inside. So let's grab one of these little panels. And then I'm going to maybe do upper right corner. Oh, maybe no, maybe not. Maybe I'll do upper left corner because this card, will there be a peeking? Nope, doesn't matter. I'm going to do upper right corner. That's my wish, and I shall grant it. All right, I don't think that's straight. Here we go. Oh, yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so then I pick it up, and then again with that first one, oh, I got a little bit of ink on my thing here, and that's fine. But if I just wipe it off right away, that works well. Hi, Linda. Okay, yes, you're thanking me for telling you what kind of tool it is. Yeah, it's just a stamp positioning tool. Nothing special at all about it. That's my wish for you. Nice. And now we can just go to town. I really probably could get away with not using the magnet to hold it, but you never know. And there's always the back of the paper. I always say it's free and included. You get 2 stamping surfaces. If it's going to be attached to something, you don't need to worry so much. Okay, and then I can just maybe write happy anniversary on the inside too in my personal note. I always like to leave a little room for a personal note. Okay, lovely. Let me just give this a little cleaning and pop that back into the case, put my ink back on here. And now it does still need a little something, something, doesn't it? We could go with ribbon. We could go with, oh, let's see. Maybe one of these architectural elements would be lovely. let's see. Window. There is a window on here. And it's not exactly going to fit, but I think it'll still like give the idea of a window. And I'm going off the edge, so if I wanted to use my positioning tool, I could do that. But I think this time I'm going to place the image of the window on my grid paper here. And then I'm going to grab my mounting block, which also has a grid. And then I can align the grid of my block with the grid of the paper, and then I know it's level. Cool, right? And let's see, I have a color, I'm thinking ocean. I'm over by my little ink pad thing here. I'm going to go with ocean. It's one of my favorite colors, if you haven't been able to tell. And I'm just going to ink this up thoroughly, and I will never stamp on the card right away without testing it first to make sure, A, that it's level and so on. Oh yeah, that'll be lovely. Oh, was there a question? Janet said washi tape. Trisha and Math Magic Land. That's funny. Oh, Janet, it's so nice to hang out with you. Man, when did you join Club Scrap? It has to be in the early 2000s. Really a long, 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 long time ago, right? Okay. Yeah, washi tape, I see what you're saying, Janet, would have been a nice element to add. Oh, that's kind of sweet. I could probably go into the sentiment. That's what I'm going to do on this one. I'm going to go this way with it. Yeah, I like that better. Washi tape would have been a great addition. Ribbon, too. I could wrap that end in ribbon. And the stamp is kind of perfect. It's like we planned for it. I almost dropped it on there. I better re-ink just in case. Okay. Here we go. Oh, I like it. This is the one I don't like, but that's okay. You know, done is better than perfect. At least that's what I say sometimes. And maybe just one more little thingamajig stamp to put on the inside here. I won't take up too much more of your time. You can, of course, leave anytime you want. Now I'm just simply having fun and I don't want to stop. Do you know how that goes? Okay. Same color. Just because, and I always do a check. Always do a check to make sure you just have that image loaded well. Okay, let's see. That's nice. Oh, I'm very pleased. So the same thing is true too if you're just stamping freestyling like this and you have some sort of graph paper down in front of you. If the paper is level on the grid, the stamp is level on the mounting block, then if you line up the lines on both of those things, then your chances of stamping straight improve, if it matters. Sometimes you just want to stamp at an angle. Okay, lovely. Am I still there? Everything's still going okay? You can still see and hear me? Oh, well, I like it. You're saying hi to each other. That's awesome. Okay, now we can do the assembly line here. I think I can do a number of layers at a time. So I've got to be careful. This nests, this nests, and this nests. So that way you can get all of your, adhesiving. It was funny. I was involved in a program about scrapbooking, and the host would always say, adhesive, and then I always said, adhesive. But what is correct? It probably just is a matter of personal preference. Do you say adhesive or adhesive? Oh, I'm loving this. Okay, now I'm going to grab my smaller, where's my ruler? I was crafting at home this weekend, so I still think have it in my go bag. Okay, which has some sticky on it. Okay, Let's see. Now I want to make sure this is centered here. So 2 1/8 is going to be my vertical center. How many cubes? 1 5/8. That's 4. So if I'm a 1/2 inch from the edge of the card, and this is a 1/2 inch from top and bottom, yeah, I should be good. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on this side here. You don't want to put adhesive on the whole thing or you will make a postcard. I'm just going to have this streaming out this way. Okay, 1 5/8 from top and bottom and a 1/2 inch from the edge. Okay, now I can just tuck and flip and adhere all of this and close the card. Right? Ah, yes. Yay. I have a fun anniversary card. You say tape, Gail. That's awesome. You don't say adhesive or adhesive. You say tape. Oh, that's great. I love it. Okay, so now again, you have to do this like the efficient way, right? You just, get it done. When I teach live classes too, sometimes I'm really shocked by how much time people spend on adhesiving. Like, really, it's slow going. A lot of times you can see that I'm using my ATG tape runner, and that just makes everything go so much faster. If you haven't yet ventured into the world of the tape runner, like what I'm using, I do confess that there is a bit of a learning curve involved in using it. I'm trying to work within a small space. That's why I keep... but once you learn how to use the ATG, oh, it's just a huge time saver. And I'm going to go inside here. And here. And now that I have my measurement memorized, I can do this a lot more quickly too. So I just have to have it on this edge. And then it was 2 1/8, top and bottom, 1/2 inch from the edge. And then 1 5/8 is my center. Do all of you use a grid ruler like this to center everything, or do you just kind of wing it, eyeball it? Oh, thank you, Joan. Thank you so much. Oh, thanks for being part of my totally impromptu event here. This was not on my itinerary at all, but I'm just decided I'm having fun, and if you guys can learn something along the way, that's great too. Okay, so I love to do the mass, as I mentioned, the mass layer, and I do like to use a lot of panels. I know one time Beth Moran, she sent me a message. She goes, Trisha, you do know that this card had 6 panels. I'm like, yeah, I know. I can't remember exactly the number, but it was a lot. But I do love nesting panels, and just makes them just come to life a little bit more. Don't you agree? At least I hope so. Yes, so tomorrow at noon, I'll be back, maybe here, and maybe also at YouTube. I am just really pulling my hair out with going live at YouTube to get the RTMP codes to work, and I don't know. I'll figure it out. Just the fact that I am here and working with these 3 cameras without having to use my phone camera makes me really happy. All right, 2 1/8, 1/2 inch from the end, 1 5/8. Oops, ruler. I use that grid ruler for everything. I have 2. Oh, thanks to me you use a ruler. That's awesome to hear. Okay, my friends, I have one more card to make. So if you have any questions, ask them now, because you're on about a minute delay on the comments, like from when you type them to when I see them. So if you have any questions about this situation or whatever, ask away. I'll do my best. And then I'm going to call it a night and see what time is it. 4:58, and I'm going to head home and make some meatloaf for dinner. That's the plan for dinner tonight. Okay. This guy. Isn't this a fun formula? I forgot how much I love it. It's so easy. It incorporates all these beautiful colors. And I could have even gone crazy with that beautiful peacock print, and then just added more panels. Like I could measure and add a panel of the peacock print here, and in here, that would be sweet too. Or I could make my own pattern paper with the stamps from the architecture kit. The world is my oyster. Okay, remember just to put your adhesive on this trailing end here, this long section, so that when you add it 2 1/8 and 1/2 from the edge at 1 5/8. Chicken teriyaki and fried rice. I will be there in 10 minutes. When your husband Beth's gonna come over for dinner, I can say hi to Tom. That would be great. I wish we lived close enough to have dinner. Okay, done. I have 4 anniversary cards to send. I was looking at my schedule, and I'm gonna quick show you what I do. I have my calendar, and I print it out from like my computer, and all my birthdays are on there. And I keep it on a clipboard like this. So I noticed that I have a couple of, it's really washed out. Is it really washed out? Kinda. I have several anniversary cards, and I was just low on them because I like to remember anniversaries. And then like I keep my address labels on the clipboard, and then these are the past months, so I can just remember what I did, and months and months and months. And I write down the birthday swap. We have a birthday swap here at Club Scrap, so I write down the names for that and whether I completed it. And yeah, I do that every month. So now all I had to do was push a button and I can see you. Isn't that cool? All right, any questions? Amazing, so much. Hi, Deborah. Where in the world are you living these days? I haven't sent you a package lately, but usually, boy, last I knew you were living in Germany. Are you still in Germany? Looks like a beautiful place to live. And Donna Matson, you're having chicken curry lemongrass. That sounds amazing. Oh, and you celebrated your 40th anniversary on Sunday. How awesome. Well, happy anniversary. That's Joan. How awesome. Oh, thank you, Christy. I really had fun doing this with all of you. So if you liked it, maybe we should do this more often. Like if I'm just making something, if you would like me to do more of these, I could. And I know that a couple of my friends said you should do a Q&A. Like people could submit their questions ahead of time, and then we could go live and answer some questions. That probably would be fun too. And you know, I'm kind of getting rid of the live jitters now. The only jitters I get are in regards to technology, obviously, which is why this is my second test in 2 days. And if you missed it, I did a live yesterday on YouTube. I showed you how to make an envelope out of for any size card with my little formula. It's really cool, and I show you a fun way to use the grid ruler to make sure that the card is level in the envelope. It's really cool. So go to our YouTube channel. If you're not already there, and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. And it is my plan to go live tomorrow on YouTube at noon Central to show you the September kit, and that's gonna start leaving the warehouse next Tuesday, the day after Labor Day. All right, I see my process. Yes, 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 okay. You're all the best. It was so good to see you here, and thanks again. I'm gonna see if I can successfully end the live stream. Let's see. I'm gonna hit end stream. We'll see what happens. Thanks again for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow on YouTube, hopefully.